Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin and Mari here today with another video. So today I want to look at Magatama, specifically Attack Magatama, are the red boys. I have been playing this thing here, this woman, and I want to kind of like try to make a really good build for her. Like I don't know if it's possible to make something that's going to be as good as like Emily or Sagi or Yuki, but I'm going to give her the good old college try. So in doing so, we're going to need Magatamas. So we don't need many, seeing as I'm not using any ultra rares for her, so I'm only going to need like 3 that are Affix to fit into her super rare weapon. So first we're going to look at this one, and we're just simply going to re-roll on them, and you guys can kind of see what rolls pop up in the process, and I'll explain to you guys what I'm mostly going for. So we'll come over to the reset screen. So the roll that we're after is increased damage dealt to all enemies by at least 1%. So I'm going to roll on these depending on how long it takes. I might, cut the video at some point, but I want to try to get at least 3 of these with that affix, and I'll explain why. So the boss affix, while it may seem good, it's conditional to only fighting bosses. So, oh, that's perfect. We already got one. So I want to have like damage dealt to all enemies so that I can just wear these in any situations. Because machine type enemies, things like demon type enemies, while they're very specific and give more percentage, it doesn't matter because you want something that's going to work all the time. Like I never want to have like a dead roll on my Magatama. So if I'm not fighting machines, that roll is dead. We're actually getting really lucky. So we'll come down to this last line. And the reason I say at least 1% is because it's unrealistic to like hope for the max roll. But at least at 1%, if you have a Magatama with this roll, she's getting 5% damage from this Magatama. So we're just going to keep going. Let's see what we get here. Machine types. Let's keep going. Oh, this one's going to be difficult. Okay. Come on. So that's kind of my logic. Like, I've spoken to other people about it. And, yeah, I just think the increased damage dealt to all enemies roll wins out for Red Magatama just because of the versatility of it all. This has like 1.1, 1.2, so it equals out to about an average. It equals out to an average of 1% per roll. So I'll leave this one. Come to the next Magatama that Shiranui has on, which would be this guy. And we will start resetting. Oh, this actually has the roll twice. Oh, that's good. Okay, so yeah. I think like, ew, that's terrible. I will apply it, but it's terrible. But I think like a good sweet spot to start re-rolling with is when you have about 200 of these that you don't need to upgrade anything. Because it can take a while. Like, I know, for the example of my Emily's Magatama, which I'll show those to you guys before I end the video, is they took me about 500 beads to get the proper rolls. Like, I'm actually getting really lucky in this case. I do wish I could get this roll higher, though. So I'm going to be spamming this one for a little bit. Come on. There we go. Okay, you're trolling me. We'll move on. And it sucks, man, because like this, I don't know. It's not to say that these other rolls are bad. Like, increased damage dealt to bosses is a really good roll. It's just so conditional. Like, me personally, I've always liked, what is this? I've always liked having rolls that, like, are good at all times. Seriously? Come on now. They're really gonna troll me like this. Come on. No, really? Wow. Seems like that Mari luck is shining through here. The first Magatama was all friendly about it. This one's like, nah, B. Nope. You're gonna have to use up some of those resources you have there. Oh, I'll take it. Then we'll move over to this. Confirm. Now what I do see some people do, while we're on the subject of red Magatamas, is I actually see some people completely max out, like, okay, so they'll have like 4 attack Magatamas that have all demon rolls, and then they'll have another set of 4 that has all human rolls and one with all machine rolls. You can definitely do that, but I don't know, to me, like, that's a lot of resources for one. That's a lot of Magatama to just have sitting around. And the all enemies roll just... it's perfect. I love it. I would also love if they would stop being stingy about it. Let's see, does this average out to 1%? 2.3... 3.1... 4.4... Oh, it does average out to 1%, like exactly. We're gonna mess with this one a little bit before moving on to the last one. I would like higher percentages. Come on. Thanks! Gee, thanks, Dad. You came home this Christmas. That 0.1%. I'm gonna try a couple more. We'll do one more, and then if it just screws me again, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so we'll do the third and final Magatama I want to do. Now, she's currently wearing 6 red Magatamas, 3 in the main weapon and 3 in the off weapon. The reason that I'm only doing 3 of them with full affixes is because affixes on the secondary Magatama don't actually come into effect. You just get the raw stat. So she has red Magas in her secondary weapon just to give her more attack. It would help if I clicked something first. And then you only want to have like the rolls in the very first weapon be the rolls that you're going for, because the weapon in the main slot, those are the rolls that the game is going to factor in when you're playing. Oh yes, that's perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. At least that one had a strong roll. Let's hope they continue. Come on. I'm making a video, guys. Make me look good. No, that's not making me look good. Oof. Oh, this one's being that guy. I'll just come up to here and be lazy. All enemies? No? No? Please? Maybe? More boss roll? And this is how you run out of beads. This is exactly right here. But it's okay. I'll take that. That's perfect. Okay, so we'll keep this one for now. We're going to get rid of this one. Oh, be high. At least one. Oh, whatever. And then we'll rewrite this one. Oh, there's the sugar. Okay. So, yeah. I'll spare you guys the rest of the rerolls. I'll try to max these rolls on my own time. But as you can see, like, this is the type of rolls I go for when I have red Magatamas. So now, if we go over to good old Miss Shiranui, check out her weapon, you will see all 3 of these have the same roll. So now she's now min-maxed to deal damage to everything. So that's my, like, best in slot, like, in my opinion, when it comes to red Magas. You want to have a character that just deals with every situation. It gives you, like, the comfort of not having to swap Magatamas around. It makes it so no matter what she's fighting, she's going to get moderately harder. If you want to min-max and go for things like machines or humans or bosses or demons, you can do that, but just realize that you're running a specialist character at that point, and they deal with one enemy type better than like the others. And if you're going to do that, it would be best to just stack, like for example, if you're going to do that, stack all human rolls and counter out humans. Don't like try to mix and max. If you're Because don't try to mix and match, because then at that point you could just be running damage to all enemies like I just did for Shiranui. So we're going to look at finished crit magas. Like, people have seen them before, but this is kind of my idea when I go for crit magas. I like having some crit rate, but the damage is also important. So in these examples, you'll notice that there are 2 critical rate rolls at least 1%. So I'm at least getting 2% per maga. So that turns into a total of 8% from all 4 magas if you're running an ultra rare. In this one, like, I couldn't get the other critical rate roll. I tried my hardest, and then the critical damage rolls ended up so high, I kind of just let it be. But this is what I use in the case of critical builds, and it depends on the character. Emily has a really high crit rate, especially with her skins. On other characters, like, we'll say like Asagi, for example, if you don't have Yuno, I would probably do 3 crit rate rolls and 2 damage rolls, just to make sure that she's critting as much as possible. So moving on from crit Magatamas, I believe I have a decent set of blue here too. Okay, so for blue, what I wanted to do, or what I started to do, you can see I never finished, is I wanted to have all damage reduction. Because again, like, reduction to humans doesn't really help you that much, like, unless you're fighting humans, whereas all damage reduction is anything you're fighting, they're going to just hit you way softer. So, like, you can see this one, I kind of got to the point where I was okay with it, because they each had at least 1%. And then this one actually fared even better. And I believe there's a 4th one here. Yeah, same with this one. So I was, like, working on this blue set, and then, like, I stopped. I should probably go back and finish it someday. But just to give you guys, like, an idea of what I would do for blue magas, this is it. As far as green Magatama, I never really mess with them. The reason being is, like, I feel like defense outweighs HP. I could be wrong. I really don't know. Like, honestly, they're so uncommonly used, it's hard to really tell. But if these do include an HP roll, I would probably just, like, go all in on having high health. But if they do include a damage reduction roll like this, I would just ignore the health completely, because you have to look at it like this. The Magatama itself is going to give you HP anyway. It's already giving 240 at base. So then I would just, like, try to, like, mitigate the damage being done to that HP. And that's the reason why I think that blue magas win out if you're going defensive, just simply because you're mitigating the total damage you take. So the need for high health becomes kind of a moot point, because if they can't hit you really hard, you don't need a lot of health to survive. So, yeah. That's pretty much, like, just some ideas, like, for Magatama. Like, I know I rarely cover these. I don't think I've ever done rolls on camera. So I wanted to do some rolls for you guys, just to give you guys, like, an example of what it's like, what I go for, and what have you. So, I'm gonna, like, perfect these rolls on my own time, get them, like, a little bit higher. And yeah, I'm going to be messing with Shiranui for, like, the coming time. I'm actually almost done with her skills. Like, I just need to finish defense, and then she'll be max as far as this goes. And I'm going to try to, like, really make a build for her that just, like, hits home, guys. Because I was able to do it with, like, Emily. I was able to do it with Asagi. And I was able to do it with Renko and Yuki. Sakura, like, everyone runs the same build. But, like, all these characters, like, I kind of did my own thing. Like, I remember when the game launched, a lot of people were telling me that this skill wasn't good and to use the shift, and I stuck with my guns, and now most people actually use Wind Slice. So, like, yeah, I stuck with my guns on that. As far as Yuki, like, you guys have seen my green Yuki play. And Emily, yeah, we have this sweet Spica build with this sweet axe. It's like, I want something like that for Shiranui. So if I come up with something, I will share it with you guys. Expect another Mama video, because I'm kind of sweet on her right now, even though she's shafted me a bunch. we're going to get this character in order. We're going to make it work for her. We're going to make Shiranui top tier. We're going to make Shiranui great again. So with that being said, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys found it helpful or informative. Please like and subscribe if you do. And thanks for tuning in all the time, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. The subs are going up nicely, so that's awesome. And I believe the Discord server has broken 600 people, but I'll double check and formally thank you guys for that tomorrow if it did. So with that, you guys have a great rest of your day. Have good luck in your gotchas and in the arena, and take care. I will catch you tomorrow.